He's full of shit!
What is up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the endlessly edgy Dr. Disaster. And stop me if you've heard this joke before, but actually guys, Assassin's Creed Shadows was a really big success. In preparation for the DLC that's coming out for Assassin's Creed Shadows in the next month, the corporate media narrative machine has started churning again in an attempt to gaslight people into thinking that Assassin's Creed Shadows was actually a wild success. Never mind the fact that the Steam numbers were extremely pedestrian. Never mind the fact that Ubisoft bucked the trend and refused to give us sales numbers for their game, instead hiding their piss-poor numbers behind player count. Don't worry about any of that, guys. A new update was put out for these journalist shills. They are running with the narrative that Assassin's Creed Shadows is the top game in Europe in 2025.
Stop lying to me!
And do you guys want to know how you can tell that an outlet is a shill journalist trying to cover for the big corporate game studios? When a new narrative like this drops, they don't worry about context. They just come out and copy each other's headlines, as you can see here. If you do a Google search right now for Assassin's Creed Shadows, this is what you come up with when looking for news. Every single one of these cockroaches is uncritically parroting this line. These guys are just so desperate to maintain the fiction that Assassin's Creed Shadows was quite popular.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
You're a moron!
The real kicker is that if you go to the source of all their information, as you can see here, Shadows wasn't even actually the top of the list. They have to add the qualifier new game from 2025 in order to make their narrative work. And to top it off, they added even more qualifiers at the bottom of this chart. As you can see here, if you look down there, you can see that they list 15 countries from Europe from where they gathered data, but there are over 40 countries actually in Europe, meaning that they left most of them out in order to make this data make sense. These people will twist anything in order to protect Ubisoft and make this game look good.
There's nothing wrong with me. Maybe there's something wrong with the universe.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, I've started uploading some content onto Rumble as well, so make sure you look for Dr. Disaster over there, and don't forget to follow me on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1. I keep a list on there of games lousy with woke crap pinned to the account at all times for your reference, and of course, Assassin's Creed Shadows is definitely on that list. For cripe's sake, the game went out of its way to make sure that when we finally got an Assassin's Creed game set in Japan, like fans had been talking about ever since the franchise came out, the nincompoops at Ubisoft made damn well sure that they subverted expectations and did not give us a Japanese male protagonist. We got the female ninja, and we got the black samurai who can't really climb and can't fit into a crowd, so why the hell would you make him a playable character in a game called Assassin's Creed? He felt extremely tacked on, and I'm sure that Yasuki was, but I could go on and on about why the game was reviled. But let's talk about this narrative that they're pushing out there that Assassin's Creed Shadows was the biggest game in Europe thus far in 2025. This article right here appears to be the source of the info. It comes from the outlet The Game Business, which I am linking in the description, and it says at the bottom there, Assassin's Creed Shadows was Europe's best-selling new game of 2025, beating competition from Split Fiction, Monster Hunter Wilds, Mario Kart World, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. But then, if we scroll down a bit, they show this chart which has Shadows sitting at the number 2 spot behind last year's EA soccer game, which is why these people are running with the narrative that Shadows is the number 1 new game in Europe. But if we look at those qualifiers at the bottom, it really blows this narrative to pieces. First of all, as you can see here, this data does not include digital sales. So, all the European folks who bought digital copies of Monster Hunter Wilds, as an example, did not count in this list. So running with this narrative, despite the fact that the largest platform in gaming is not included, well, that's purely asinine. And then right here, they tell us that games bundled with hardware are included, including both physical and digital copies. And as you may recall, they gave out a shit ton of copies of Assassin's Creed Shadows with the purchase of all kinds of different PC hardware upgrades. So this is, of course, going to massively skew the numbers in favor of Assassin's Creed Shadows. And then, to top it off, as I showed you a minute ago, they tell us here that there were only 15 European countries that they included in this data, around a third of the actual number of countries that exist in Europe. This is about as cherry-picked as it gets. And to be honest, at this point, I don't know why they didn't just run with the narrative that Assassin's Creed Shadows is the number 1 best-selling game of all time. They could have written an article with a headline claiming that this was fact, and then somewhere in the article include a disclaimer that says that this includes games only with the word Assassins in the title, along with the word Creed and the word Shadows. But that didn't stop these shills, all these nonsensical disclaimers that they had to use. It did not stop them from trying to run with this narrative in a big way. When I googled Assassin's Creed Shadows, look at how all the journalists are framing this. The Game Business says Assassin's Creed Shadows is the number 1 new game of 2025 in Europe. Below it, Games Industry says Assassin's Creed Shadows is Europe's best-selling new title so far, according to new data. Pure Xbox writes, Assassin's Creed Shadows is Europe's best-selling new game of 2025 so far. Video Games Chronicle was not as much of a shill as the others in their headline, saying the best-selling game of 2025 in Europe so far is a game from 2024 beating Assassin's Creed Shadows. But if you click on the actual article, the byline here says, Ubisoft's game is the best-selling new release, but it can't take the top spot. And then, as you can see here, Games Radar wrote, Assassin's Creed Shadows beats Mario Kart World and Elden Ring Night Rain to be the top-selling 2025 game in Europe this year. TechSpot said, Assassin's Creed Shadows is Europe's best-selling new game of 2025 so far. But down near the bottom there, the headline from The Gamer is really freaking misleading. They don't even include the qualifier Europe in it. The headline simply says, Assassin's Creed Shadows has outsold every other new game so far in 2025. You can tell that they are very committed to this narrative, but you get the picture. These people in games journalism are bullshit artists. I doubt it is a coincidence that these journalists are running with this narrative when you consider that the DLC for Shadows is due to come out in a month. They need to frame this game as a big deal again in order to drum up interest and sell some DLC. But while Ubisoft will not willingly share their actual sales numbers for this game, let me share some numbers for you. This is the current price of Ubisoft stock. They are still at less than $10 per share, hovering just above penny stock territory, as they have done for a little while now. And if you look right here, This is when Assassin's Creed Shadows was released, and within days of that release, as you can see, the stock plummeted because nobody bought their narrative back then that they had a bajillion people playing the game. That is over a quarter of their stock value that they've lost, and it has never recovered because people know that Ubisoft is a company that is purely full of shit, and the journalists who protect them are even more full of shit. But I'm gonna leave it there. Drop your mockery of Ubisoft and the journalists who shill for them into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.